Alrighty, hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we'll be discussing this thread over here, and this one is talking about if Tailworlds has a plan to make villages upgradable. So I'm going to link this down below if you want to go check it out for yourself. It was made today, and there are a lot of actual, what would you call it, dev responses, and one is very recent from less than an hour ago, so there might be more in the future. I'll check it out, and I'll try to include it in a future video. But there are about, I think, 4 or 5 replies, so we're going to go over them. I'm going to give my opinions of it, and we're going to see if we get any new information on the topic. So let's get right into it. So the original poster, let's see what he has to say. I really hope that this will be done since villages seem pretty pointless now apart from being passive income generators. We need a reason to feel like it's my village and I want to take care of it, spend money on it, and help it grow and prosper. Warband and Viking Conquest had this feature. I can't remember if it was planned for Bannerlord as well. Alrighty, so in my experience, they did talk about it, the devs did talk about it, but not for very long. It was very vague on what the real idea was, and as this person said right over here, they scraped this idea that I think that's kind of the general gist of it. I don't think it's going to happen. Maybe in a DLC sometime in the far future, but I don't think this is on their plate for now. But there were ideas circulating around, and I think that's what the devs are going to talk about. So now let's see what the devs have to say. So player first asked a question to the devs. Wow, if this is true, then it's really sad. A real step backwards from the previous Mountain Blade games. And then he asked the dev, is this real? And let's see what the dev has to say. Actually, that 4 slots around villages were my design idea. First, it was added and they remained in the game since 2016. It can be 2015 to 2017. To not sure, then removed. Interesting. 4 slots. Okay, so I'm guessing the 4 slots have to do with, like, you know, the watchtower, the schools, and different stuff that you can upgrade. Okay, makes sense. In that design, castles were also a project which can be built at one of those 4 slots. Huh, interesting. So you can upgrade your village to a castle in a way. Okay. Even we had icons for castle construction. There were no alone castles at map. Main settlements were only villages and towns. If you build one castle to one of the villages slots, you cannot build another castle to other slots of villages, of course. Interesting. So they're going to make it more like you get to choose where the castles actually went instead of, you know, them being in a specific spot. And then you can turn the villages into either watchtowers, schools, or whatever. Well, not exactly this, what the player said, but along those lines, right? You can kind of choose where to place stuff. Cool. If slot is at sea, then can only be fish production at that slot. Okay. Interesting. This design removed at one point. I do not remember reason. I accept it and in a bit detailed. Maybe it could make things harder. I drawed that design on paper actually. If I can find this drawing on paper tomorrow at office, I will share it. After now, this cannot be case. In my opinion, even for mods, it's nearly totally different design. Okay, so it was designed completely different and it would not really be possible now because I'm pretty sure they're too deep into their design process. Which makes sense. It's unfortunate though. I did kind of what's it called? This does sound like a very, very good idea though. Very unfortunate that was not actually implemented the way it should have been. Then we go another player, Mexico. I understand that, but can we at least get some kind of village development? The way it's just now is just too bland. It would be great if we could be more interactions with villages. The game is just simplified in too many ways and is no longer simple to understand but complex to master, and is more like simple to understand and simple to master with little depth. Interesting. So he's pretty much saying that, you know, before games were, you know, they're kind of easy to understand, but at the same time to master you would have to know a lot more, but now it just feels like it's very simple overall. Dev responds, currently what I see from YouTube and Twitch playthroughs, player mostly suffer from enemy raids. It can be good to add projects also to villages or castle projects, which affects its villages. Some can make them raid harder or increase militia or villages, for example. I'm not a decider at these issues. Can't think of a solution and suggest it, but I don't know if it will be accepted. I give less probability. Okay, so he's saying that he does watch how other people play, and he sees that one of the big reasons is one of the big key points that players suffer is from enemy raids, and raids are kind of automatic. I don't think you can ever fail a raid, in my opinion. Um, Especially the initial phase where you actually attack the village. So maybe there is something that you can do, like increase militia. But yeah, interesting. Okay. Let's see what else he has to say. I think there is one more post on the second page. I said 4 or 5 posts. I'm pretty sure it's only 3. My bad for that. But now the what's called developers making a statement. The basic target of the 4-slot design was given player feeling of owning the village. He slash she could even decide building a castle near it, or player does not bother with the castle and focus on increasing production if the village is in a safe zone. Of course, building a castle is a very long process. This design gives players a feeling of owning that village, and player have a better connection with that village. Even when you walk around the scene, you feel better in the scenario. Interesting. Yeah, that does make sense. Obviously, if you have a good position, you don't want castles all the way in the back that are never going to get attacked. You'd rather want something that actually gives you production. So, yeah, it's unfortunate. Very unfortunate. I did like the design that he did propose where, let me go back to it. Where is it? Obviously 4 slots, and you can choose, and I'm pretty sure each slot, obviously castles for defense. You got, what was the other one that you could trade it into? Like, I guess like a production, that's obviously for your economy. There's probably one for maybe increasing, like, you know, how much training is done and stuff like that. But overall, it's a cool design. It would have probably taken a lot longer, and probably from the upper devs was just denied, and they just wanted to do a little bit something that was a little bit more of a safer build. It was probably easier to obviously manage to code it and stuff like that, which is unfortunate to the player. But you know, it's not like I hate the current system. I don't think anybody hates the current system. I think people just want villages to be overall just upgradable. Even with the current system, they want some type of upgrades for villages, and hopefully not like the ones we have for castles and towns, because those are very lackluster in my opinion. You just, you pick it and then it just grows over time. There's no real interaction past that, which I think people actually want. They want that interaction after the fact, not just clicking on one of the upgrades and leaving for some time and then it's going to be done, which I think is very it's a very simple way to do it, and I don't think it's very interactive at all, especially for a game of this size, in my opinion. But that'll probably do it for this video. It's not the longest video. I didn't want to keep it too long. It's just a couple of replies. But let me know what you guys think. Would you guys want that? Obviously, a lot of players want upgradable villages. I am wondering if they are going to do something with it in the future. Maybe give it some type of upgrades or something like that. Obviously, as he stated right over here, to add projects, obviously also to villages. But at the same time, by projects, he means those upgrades where you just click on them and then it just, and then you just wait some time, which isn't the best also. So we'll have to see. Let me know what you guys think about it. Ask me any questions, any concerns, and stay safe.